I'm Rick Ware, and I'm here at the Hartley Mansion at the neurosurgical office of Stanford Wright to make a little bit of an introduction, I guess, to the Pacific Anesthesia Recognition Party that we'll be having next week on May 17th. Maybe give a little bit of a background and a setting for that party for those people that would like to know a little bit more about our group. So to start, maybe by way of introduction of myself, I could give a little bit of a short biography. I think probably a lot of the people that have known me here in Everett, I've been here almost 25 years, might still not know some of these things. I was actually born in Wiesbaden, Germany. My dad was part of the Berlin airlift, which really makes me seem old, but is nevertheless true. My family came from Biloxi, Mississippi. They went to Germany with my dad, and then after Germany, we went back to Biloxi. We were there again. For some reason, although we were military and my dad retired in the Air Force, we didn't really move around that much. We were in Biloxi until I was in the 6th grade when we went to Blaine, Washington. So I've been pretty much in this area since that time, since I was in the 6th grade. So not born in the area, but certainly a Northwesterner. So from Blaine, I then went into Western Washington, which at that time was Western Washington State College. Again, this, man, makes me feel a little bit old, but it's now Western Washington University. Went there for 3 years and decided that what I should do is major in economics. Was married when I was 18 years old, so I felt the thing that I needed to do was go out and make a living in the world. So got through 3 years at Western Washington before I really was not enjoying it too much. Went to the University of Washington and completed my degree after dropping out for a while. So I had an economics degree, decided that, again, I should go off into the workforce and figure out what to do with myself. So I worked for a while in Seattle. Really did not enjoy that either. So at this point, wasn't sure exactly what to do with my life. Decided that, to me, being a physician had always been, I guess, a success in many ways. And I felt that I really wanted to give it a try. I was getting a little bit older for medical school, but really felt that it was something that to me really spoke to me. So being an economics major, didn't have much of a background in the sciences, so I had to go back and do a year and a half of pre-medical studies. So during that period of time, I worked at Virginia Mason as an orderly, pushing patients around the hall, stocking the shelves on the 3 to 11 shift, and getting to know some of the anesthesiologists, helping out a little bit here and there. And from there, then went to UCSF, University of California in San Francisco, to do my medical school, my medical studies. I guess a couple of things of interest, perhaps, is I had 2 children when I left to go to medical school. We had 2 more while we were there at a small 2-bedroom apartment in the married student housing. Basically had a hallway between the 2 bedrooms that you had our dressers stacked along the sides. You had to walk sideways in order to get down the hallway to get from one bedroom to the other. My 5th child was born once I got here to Everett. But 4 children in medical school, which was a little bit of a challenge. The only thing I knew when I got accepted to medical school, there were a couple of things. I felt like the thing I should do is go to the first medical school that accepted me. I thought, well, that would be the principled thing to do, and so that's what I should do. The first medical school to accept me was the Medical College of Wisconsin. So I, within 2 days, was accepted to the University of California, San Francisco. So I took the less principled course and went to UCSF, which was a short trip from the family down the West Coast, and you didn't need quite as many layers of clothing. especially with the children. So ended up at UCSF. One of the things I thought I wouldn't do was end up at UCSF, but I did. The other thing I thought I wouldn't end up in is anesthesia. So having had that orderly experience, I was really not impressed with what anesthesiologists do, and certainly did at that time. So as things unwound, I ended up in UCSF doing anesthesia, and then finally I thought, well, even if I do anesthesia to start with, it'll help me get into a good place to end up. I could always transition into medicine, because in those days you could do a rotating internship where you could do a little medicine and a little bit of surgery. So I came back to Virginia Mason, did a little bit of surgery, a little bit of medicine as a rotating intern, thinking I could always go into the medicine program if I needed to or wanted to. Didn't like anesthesia, but I could hardly wait to get into the anesthesia program. Really, internal medicine wasn't my thing, and although they offered me a position in the surgical class at the end of my internship, they were going to waive the internship year and allow me to be going to surgery. I really felt that wasn't my thing either. So went into anesthesia and really have not really regretted that at all. It's been something that I've very much enjoyed. The interaction with the surgeons, the interactions with the nurses in the room, the short but intense interactions with the patients. It's been very good for me. I guess it's been one of those things that really makes me feel that I'm contributing a bit, but I don't really have to be in the spotlight. So it's been a good thing for me.